Okay, so check this out. This dude, Guru, right? Total supervillain vibes, like, hold on, you do not want to cross me type. His house, the spookiest in the burbs. His ride, a polluting jet engine powered car that screams, I don't care. And if someone's holding up the coffee line, he'd freeze everyone just to skip waiting. And man, he's got a dog named Kyle who's always itching for a bite, literally. Every chance he gets, Kyle's all over Gru. Now, here's the kicker. Gru's pride takes a serious hit when some mystery villain swipes the Great Pyramid of Giza. Yeah, the real deal, and replaces it with a goofy inflatable replica. Worldwide outrage, baby. Gru's pulled off some wild heists before, like snatching the Times Square Jumbotron and even the little Statue of Liberty from Vegas, but nothing compares to the pyramids. So now Gru wants to top it. And when I say top it, I mean he's planning to steal the freaking moon. Because apparently that was his childhood dream, be an astronaut, all that jazz. Oh, and his mom? She never misses a chance to remind him he's a failed villain. Gru figures if he's got the moon in his pocket, governments will pay anything to get it back, and he'll finally prove to his mom he's not a flop. Only problem? Snatching the moon ain't cheap. So Gru hits up the Bank of Evil for a loan. The big cheese there, Mr. Perkins, kind of digs Gru's plan but wants proof first. He's all, you get yourself a shrink ray, then we'll talk money. And while Gru's inside the bank, he meets this fresh-faced villain, Vector, who's the genius behind the pyramid stunt. They butt heads immediately. Gru even ices Vector's entire head on his way out. Gru and his minion bust into a top-secret base in East Asia to grab the shrink ray. Easy peasy, right? Except the second they grab it, Vector swoops in and steals their steel. He's all, now you'll think twice before freezing someone's head. And Gru's like, we cannot let him get away. Gru tries to fight back, but Vector uses the shrink ray to turn Gru's ride into a micro machine. Gru's not happy. Now, trying to crack Vector's fortress is no joke. This place is high-tech, with security tighter than a grandma's purse. Gru gets punched, knocked, thrown, smashed, eaten, dropped, and blasted. But then, out of nowhere, 3 orphan girls, Margot, Edith, and Agnes waltz right in to sell Vector cookies. Turns out they live under this chick, Miss Hattie, who's all, no one's ever gonna adopt you, but the girls keep hustling with that cookie business. Light bulb moment. Gru calls Dr. Nefario, make me a dozen robots disguised as cookies, and Nefario's like, what? And Gru's like, cookie robots. Gru's like, I need these kids to slip past Vector security. So Gru adopts the girls and takes them home. Kyle tries to eat them, typical. Gru's like, we need to set some rules. Rule number 1, you will not touch anything. Margot's like, what about the floor? Gru's like, yes, you can touch the floor. And Margot's like, what about the air? And Gru's like, yes. Edith like, what about this? And Gru's like, ah! Rule number 2, don't bother me while I'm working. Rule number 3, no making annoying sounds. And Agnes is like, is this sound as annoying? Gru stops her and like, very. Down in the lair, Nefario shows off boogie robots, which Gru shoots down. Dude, I asked for cookie robots. And Nefario's like, okay, I'm on it. But guess what? These kids are out of control. They want story time. They've got ballet classes. They want bedtime kisses. Gru's trying to maintain his tough villain image, but the girls are so darn adorable. He's got 0 parenting instincts. But little by little, they start cracking his cold exterior. Nefario tries to show off new gear, but Gru's like, I said dark gun, not that. And Nefario's like, oh, because I was wondering under what circumstances would we use this. He then shows him the cookie robots, and Gru's stoked. Now those are cookie robots? Eventually, Gru uses the girls' cookie operation to sneak into Vector's place. And yes, he finally snags the shrink ray back. Gru's like, yay, we did it. Agnes goes, can we go to Fun Land now? Gru's all, no. Well, okay, secretly planning to ditch them there. But surprise, spending the day with them warms his ice-cold heart. He actually decides to keep them around, starting to feel that whole fatherly vibe. Gru calls Perkins for the money, who's all, nope, too risky. We're investing in younger villains now, like my own kid, Vector. Gru's crushed, but the girls bust out their piggy bank, and then the minions pitch in their loose change. They're all, we believe in you, Gru. Touched by their support, Gru rebuilds his lair into a rocket-building factory, ready to shrink the moon. Meanwhile, Perkins tips off Vector, who's itching to take Gru down a notch. But bad timing, the ballet recital is the same day Gru's gotta snag the moon and Gru's torn. Dr. Nefario, seeing the kids as a distraction, ships them back to Miss Hattie's behind Gru's back. Gru's bummed, but he forges ahead, shrinks the moon, and pockets it. Then he rushes off to see the girls dance, only to find the girls missing. Because while Gru was busy, Vector kidnapped them and wants the moon in exchange. Gru's like, fine, have the moon. But Vector double-crosses him, keeps the kids anyway. Gru gets furious. He's like, when I get in there, you're done. Vector's like, I am really scared. Act all tough. But Agnes is like, he's gonna kick your butt. Gru storms the place, sidestepping every high-tech booby trap. In a panic, Vector fires up his escape aircraft. Meanwhile, Dr. Nefario figures out the shrink ray's a temporary fix, and a huge object like the moon will revert to full size in hours. And the bigger it is, the faster it grows. As the moon starts expanding in Vector's ship, blowing everything apart. Gru, Nefario, and the minions launch a mid-air rescue to snatch the girls out, and the moon rockets back to orbit, leaving Vector stranded on its surface. In the end, Gru's got the girls safe, and he's full on dad mode. Reads him a bedtime story based on his villain adventures, gets a big hug from Margot and actually hugs her back. Heartwarming. Even Gru's mom shows up, proud for once. Then the girls put on a little ballet show for Gru. Dr. Nefario and the minions break into this dance party to You Should Be Dancing. So yeah, Mr. I'm a Bad Guy Gru is now a total softie for these 3 little girls, and proving that even the most twisted dreams can lead to a heartwarming family story.